Let me tell you something that might make you uncomfortable. The woman who spent her whole life proving she doesn't need anyone is often the same woman quietly wondering why no one stays. And before you think this is about telling you to change who you are or shrink yourself to make a man comfortable, let me be clear. This isn't about that at all. This is about understanding something most women your age have never been taught. That the energy that makes you successful in your career, the energy that helped you survive difficult relationships, the energy that got you through raising kids and building a life, that same energy can accidentally push away the very connection you're craving, and it's not your fault. Nobody taught you how to shift gears. If you've ever wondered why the men you're attracted to don't pursue you the way you want, if you've been told you're intimidating and you're tired of hearing it, subscribe to Prime Women's Circle, because we talk about the truths that actually help you, not the ones designed to make you smaller. Hit that like button if you're ready to understand what's really happening. Let's get into it. The truth about intimidating. First, let's address the biggest lie you've been told, that men are intimidated by successful women. Here's what I need you to understand, and this might sting, but it's important. Most men don't care about your success when it comes to attraction. Your six-figure income doesn't create chemistry. Your corner office doesn't make him want you. Your master's degree doesn't trigger desire. And I'm not saying those things don't matter. They absolutely matter. They're incredible achievements. But you need to understand something crucial. You being attracted to a man's success doesn't mean men are attracted to yours. That's you projecting your values onto them. It's like a man thinking you'll fall for him because he has great hair and fashionable clothes. Sure, that's nice. But that's not what creates real attraction for you, is it? Here's what's actually happening when men seem intimidated by you. You've been in your problem-solving energy so long, at work, with your kids, managing your life, that you can't turn it off. You're leading every conversation, making every decision, solving every problem, competing, correcting. And he doesn't feel intimidated. He feels unnecessary. Let me tell you what's going through his mind. She doesn't need me. She's got everything figured out. She's going to criticize everything I do. This feels like work, not connection. That's not about you being too much. That's about there being no space for him to show up. Here's the second thing women get wrong. You think vulnerability makes you look weak. So you put on this armor. You act like you're fine, like you don't need anything, like you've got it all handled. And then you're shocked when he's not emotionally connected to you. Listen carefully. Vulnerability isn't weakness. Vulnerability is the door to intimacy. When you hide your heart, when you pretend you don't have needs, when you act like you're totally fine all the time, you're not protecting yourself. You're preventing him from falling in love with you. Now, I'm not talking about dumping all your emotions on him. I'm not talking about making every problem his responsibility. Real vulnerability sounds like this. I've been feeling anxious lately, and I'm noticing I'm telling myself that maybe I'm not as important to you as I'd like to be. I don't know if that's true, but that's what's coming up for me. That's sharing your experience, not attacking, not demanding, just opening your heart. And here's what goes through a man's mind when you do this. She trusts me enough to be real. She needs me. I can help. I can be there for her. That's when his protective instincts kick in. But most women never give him this opportunity because they're too busy pretending they're fine. The mind reader myth. Third myth. And this one is everywhere. The idea that if he really loved you, he would just know what you need. You think, I shouldn't have to tell him. He should just know. And then you're resentful when he doesn't meet needs he doesn't even know you have. Let me tell you something about men. We're not mind readers. We're actually pretty straightforward. If you tell us what you need in a respectful way, we'll probably do it. If you expect us to figure it out through hints, sighs, and passive-aggressive comments, we're going to fail every single time. But here's the thing. You've been taught that asking for what you need makes you needy, that a quality man should just get it. And that's setting you up for failure. Asking for what you need isn't weakness, it's clarity. Would it be okay if we talked about something that's been on my heart? Can I ask for a call sometime today? May I ask if you could help me with something? This is you communicating your needs in a way that doesn't attack or demand, and it gives him the opportunity to step up. When he does, and you appreciate him for it, that's what keeps him pursuing you. What actually makes you irresistible? So let's talk about what actually works. What makes a woman magnetic to a quality man? 1. You know when to receive. Here's what I see constantly. A woman meets a man she likes, and immediately she starts doing everything. She plans the dates. She sends the good morning texts. She tries to solve his problems. She gives advice. She cooks for him. She's basically pursuing him while wondering why he's not pursuing her. And from a man's perspective, this feels smothering. It feels like you're trying to be his mother, and there's no attraction in that. You don't have to chase. You don't have to pursue. You don't have to do anything except be. Be present. Be open. Be warm. Be receptive. And the right man will be drawn to that. This doesn't mean you're passive. This doesn't mean you have no opinions. It means you're creating space for him to show up, and then you respond to his effort with appreciation. 2. You make him feel needed, not criticized. Here's something that might sting. Are you looking for a partner, or are you looking for someone to fix? Because here's what goes through a man's mind when he feels like you're trying to change him. She doesn't accept me. She doesn't respect me. She thinks I'm not good enough. Now, I'm not saying you should accept bad behavior. I'm not saying you should be with someone who treats you poorly. But there's a massive difference between coaching someone and appreciating them. Men move mountains for women who make them feel respected. A man's deepest need in a relationship is respect. Your deepest need is to be cherished. When you understand this, everything shifts. What does respect look like? Appreciating his efforts even when they're imperfect. Thanking him for things he does. Not criticizing him in front of others. Asking for his opinion and actually considering it. Letting him lead sometimes, even when you might do it differently. When you make a man feel like he's winning with you, he'll do anything to keep winning. 3. You have your own life. This is counterintuitive. You think if you want a man to commit, you should make him your priority. Wrong. When you make a man your whole life, you become a burden, not a blessing. Men are attracted to women who have their own thing going on. Women who light up when they talk about their passions. Women who aren't sitting around waiting for him to text back. Here's what goes through a man's mind when you don't have your own life. She's going to be clingy. She's going to be needy. I'm going to be responsible for her entire emotional state. But when you have your own full life, when you're happy and fulfilled already, he thinks, I want to be part of that. I want to add to her already good life. One woman I know was so focused on finding a man that it consumed her entire life. She was exhausted, and the men she met could feel that desperation. When she finally shifted her focus to herself, her purpose, her friendships, her joy, her energy completely changed. She stopped radiating, I desperately need a man, and started radiating, my life is already full, but there's room for the right one. And that's when she met her now husband. 4. You can share your heart without controlling the outcome. This is advanced. Most women think they're being vulnerable when they're actually being manipulative. They share their feelings as a tactic to get a man to do what they want. If I tell him I'm sad, maybe he'll finally commit. That's manipulation, not vulnerability. And men can feel it. True vulnerability is sharing your truth and being completely detached from how he responds. I'm going to be honest about what I'm feeling. And whatever he does with that information is up to him. This is terrifying because you want guarantees, but that's control, not trust. When you share vulnerably and he steps up, shows care, tries to help, great. He might be the right man. If he dismisses you, gets defensive, makes it about him, great. Now you know he's not the right man. Either way, you win because you get clarity. 5. You know when to walk away without drama. Here's what makes a woman irresistible. Self-respect. The willingness to walk away from men who don't treat her well without anger, without drama, just simple detachment. Women tolerate terrible treatment because they're afraid of being alone, afraid of starting over, afraid they won't find anyone else. But you know what men think when you tolerate bad behavior. She doesn't value herself. I can get away with anything. But when a woman has genuine self-worth, when she's willing to let go of a man who isn't right for her, that changes everything. Because now he knows he has to step up or he'll lose you. One woman was dating a guy who kept going hot and cold. Instead of having dramatic conversations, she simply detached. She focused on herself. She didn't play games. She didn't punish him. She just pulled back her energy, and he panicked. He realized what he was losing, and he stepped up. But here's the key. She didn't do it to manipulate him. She did it because she genuinely valued herself. And that authenticity is what made it real. The most important thing. Now here's what I need you to hear. You can do everything I've talked about perfectly, and it still might not work out with a specific man. Because not every man is your man. Not every man is capable of receiving your energy. Some are too broken, some aren't ready, and that's okay. Because when you're operating from these principles, you're not trying to force a man to commit. You're being the woman you're meant to be. And the right man will recognize that and pursue you. But you have to trust the process. You have to be willing to walk away from men who aren't right, even when it's hard, even when you're lonely, even when you love them. And before I wrap up, I need to say one more crucial thing. Don't forget to check in with yourself. Are you actually into him? Or are you just excited that somebody wants you? Are you addicted to the chase? Are you trying to win someone over just to prove you can? Don't do that to yourself. Don't settle. Don't convince yourself that good enough is good enough. Wait for the man who's actually good for you, who lights you up, who you could build a real life with. So those are the truths. Understanding polarity doesn't mean losing yourself. It means creating space for real connection. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the door to intimacy. Having your own life makes you magnetic. Self-respect is irresistible, and the right man won't need you to convince him. He'll just know. Tell me in the comments, what's the biggest shift you need to make? Or what truth hit home for you today? And if you want more real talk about relationships, attraction, and refusing to settle, subscribe to Prime Women's Circle. Hit that bell. Because we're creating a space where women understand their worth and refuse to shrink. I'll see you in the next one.